Welcome traders to this video brought to you by Admiral Markets. This week's focus is on the key decision spots on the majors, including the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar yen, and AUDUSD. Before diving into the Forex market and the price movements though, please be aware of this disclaimer. It explains that the video here is intended for a global audience. It may not be suitable for everyone. To find out if it is and other conditions and details, visit admiralmarketsglobal.com, select your country of residence, and contact an appropriate entity. Also, please be aware of the fact that trading for exchange is considered high risk and may not be suitable for all traders and investors. Therefore, please seek the advice of an independent financial advisor for more information on that. This video is not advice and is for educational and informational purposes only. And by continuing watching this video, you agree with the risk disclaimer. First chart we're looking at is the dollar yen daily chart, and I'm expecting here a triangle. The triangle could of course be two ways, although in fact it is probably more bullish than bearish. This is probably the A, this is the B, this is the C, this is the D, and we could be in a E part of the triangle. That is the most likely version of this triangle, that's a bullish triangle. There is also a slight chance that this could be actually a bearish first part, followed by a correction, bearish correction triangle like this, followed by one more leg to the downside, and then an upside probably, because the bigger trend seems to be up still. That is a scenario that could unfold, but for me at the moment the most likely is the bullish triangle, especially of course obviously if price stays above this wave C bottom here at 115.90, 80, something like that, and that seems most likely at the moment. So for me this wave E could be finished right now in fact, but seems a bit more likely that the wave E will finish a bit deeper, 117.50, perhaps even 116.90, 117, or even all the way to retest this trend line at 116, lower 116. So those are kind of three levels where I'm thinking of the price could stop with this wave E of the triangle. Once of course price breaks above this 120.50 resistance and the top resistance line, price is confirming the breakout to the upside, which would be a breakout to the upside, a bullish breakout. And with the trend kind of set up here in the long run, of course, the dollar yen definitely an uptrend. I'll show you on this weekly chart. You can see the run up here since the summer last year, since August 2014, moving up from about 100 all the way up to 120. So once we break out above 120.50, that could be the signal of that uptrend continuation. Before we take a look at the other pairs, please be aware of these webinars in this upcoming week. Nana is going to take a look at the weekly FX recap Monday, and on Wednesday he's going to take a look at Heikinashi with Ichimoku. And then I myself have the live trading lab here at Trendline Trading Tuesday and Wednesday strategy webinar, and on Thursday Nana and I together take a look at the factor of luck versus skill in Forex trading. So I hope to see you in one or all of these webinars this week. Let's move on to the pound dollar daily chart. The cable here clearly breaking above this orange trend line, the orange trend line dating back to way back of this downtrend, and the first signal that perhaps this downtrend is over and a new trend, a new vibe is upside for the pound dollar. I think that's still a bit early, to be honest, because we still have a very substantial resistance zone up in here around 155, 157.50. Let me draw those lines here for you, and you'll see that those levels are still key, I think, for the long term. But at the moment, indeed, it is true that price is in this channel to the upside, and continuation of that channel could easily happen until we get into that resistance zone. Then again, of course, we have to also be aware that if you look at the big downtrend here, some hook back I think is logical, and therefore this zone 155, 157.50 of immense importance. You can see that also the upside is occurring at a spot where price had a strong weekly bottom right in here. So we're kind of in the middle. Either is it a really uptrend? Is it still a potential downtrend continuation? Those questions are still not resolved, and I'm cautious to both sides at the moment. The AUDUSD remains a bit more firmer in the downtrend in my opinion compared to the pound dollar, that is. And if you look at the weekly chart, you see the 21 EMA at a very steep angle indicating pretty good momentum here. We've had of course a couple of weeks of sideways movement, so there has been some stall within that downtrend, and you can see price has moved up to the 21 EMA on the daily chart, kind of making a retracement. And it's basically here too a consolidation, a triangle, correction. It's all of that basically at the moment. It's definitely not trending, and it's making this kind of consolidation form. So in my opinion, break of these support lines could be very interesting trade setups for shorts. That's what I'll definitely be keeping an eye on during this trading week. And then last but not least, the euro dollar. The euro dollar is going to probably see some continuation of this indecision with, of course, Greece and the ECB and Eurozone members negotiating. That, of course, is a factor of uncertainty. There's also some speeches coming from the President Draghi, ECB President Draghi, and also Fed Chairman Yellen. So there's a lot of things that could occur and impact this this price from a, let's say, from a fundamental point of view. From a technical point of view, price is just going sideways in this range. Obviously, the top and bottom of this range are important for potential breakout. If price does push through 112.75 or 114.50, the next levels, key decision spots are 111, that's the bottom, and then of course the 116, 116.75 zone, which is resistance. I would expect price to turn at that spot for further downside. If it doesn't, then it could be even a bullish, 4-hour bullish potential there. Let's say from here, although I'll still be careful of the downtrend, but everything below 116.75 is definitely bearish. Everything below 112.75 is bearish in my opinion. This is kind of a neutral zone right in here because it's a consolidation. And once it breaks, if it does break below 111, I'll be looking for 110 and 108 as targets to the downside. So that's basically it on the euro dollar. Definitely downtrend, but pretty sizable consolidation. So have to see how that basically ends up before I'm trading it. All right, that wraps up the session. Thank you for joining this video, and of course don't forget to take a look and check out Apple Markets in the social media. Wish you all happy hunting and hope to see you in the webinar soon. Cheers.